Hey, so I'm just going to do a quick video, please leave it on, thank you, about, so I guess as we get into the Lent season, and not Lent, oh my goodness, as we get into Advent, and we're talking about like Jesus and the coming and why we're waiting for him and why it's so important to wait, and redemption and esperar and all of those concepts of waiting for Jesus and focusing on Jesus and him being our light in the darkness and like the darkest time of the year and the beautiful baby boy coming into this world, all of those things. As we wait for that, I was going to do a little video series kind of like pondering different ideas about Jesus. And one of the things that like I think we talk about sin and think about sin as there we go, as this one behavior, this action that we do. Like it is a sin to do like XYZ. But I'm going to encourage you guys to think about sin as, rather than being like the lowercase SINS, the individual actions, the uppercase, like all caps lock SIN, the condition, the, like if the caps lock SIN, sin is our condition. It's like the sickness itself, where the behaviors are like the symptoms. So we might have a cough, and we can address the cough. We can address the little issues, like the little sins, the behaviors, which are important to address. Like it's not good to cough and have high blood pressure or whatever, but the big deal is the underlying condition of sin, and that's where Jesus comes in. Like that's what we need Jesus for. So like if you're thinking about like, is this specific behavior a sin? Is it a sin to yell at my brother? Yes, maybe, probably. But I think the real question is, have you given your entire relationship with your brother over to Jesus? Have you decided to trust him, to pray for your brother daily? Like all of these things, if you're struggling with a relationship with your brother, and instead of yelling at him, like you're like, I didn't yell at him today, I didn't sin. Chances are your heart and his heart are probably still surrounded in some element of sin, right? So until you give it up to Jesus, until you have looked at your relationship through the lens of Jesus, I guess, until you have been willing to give, like, so an example in my life has been like the practice of yoga. I have done a lot of stretch. I used to teach yoga stretch classes to adults with disabilities, and I taught like a Christian yoga study class, which I do not do either of those anymore, but I still stretch. But it took this process of me, like, I took about 2 years, at least 18 months, of not practicing at all, and like being like, yeah, I'm probably gonna get more migraines. Yeah, it's gonna have negative consequences, but is it something that is biblical? After working with a lot of Hindus and like learning the Hindi language and doing a lot of different things with Indian culture, is yoga something that is it syncretism, mixing Christianity with Hinduism, or is it a physical practice of stretching and physical therapy that is very important to physical health, especially someone who can't do a lot of exercise because of my migraines and different health like stuff anyways. So I've come to the conclusion, like after 2 years of being like, okay, God, like I am okay giving this up forever, never practicing again if you tell me to, like giving it up, giving whatever the issue is up to Jesus, like being like, okay, I'm willing to give up whatever, maybe you're like, it's an addiction or the anger, like you're willing to give up your anger with your brother and let him maybe be mean to you, and you're going to show love back. You have to, like, so I guess really what I'm saying is like giving things up to Jesus. There's practical ways to do it. It's kind of a Christianese term, but the sin is it. So like, is this XYZ a sin? My question back to you is, have you given that area of your life completely over to God, completely over to Jesus, to work through and process it with him? And if the answer is no, then probably it is. If you have given that over to God, it's probably going to be years of working through it. And there's probably going to be sin in that area of your life, right? Like from time to time or regularly, depending on what it is. So anyways, yeah, I guess that's just kind of my quick thoughts on sin and that's our need for Jesus. We need Jesus every single day in every single area of our lives. And when our relationships, our parenting, our siblings, our family, when those things aren't encompassed around like Jesus and how he loved people well, we can expect, or obedience. If we aren't working to diligently be obedient to God, we can expect that those areas of our lives are in some way sinful, whether it's a specific action or word or behavior or like lifestyle choice or whatever it is. Even things that we don't have choices about, like things that we may feel like gluttony. Sometimes I feel like I need to eat more than I do at times, right? Like, I don't know if that's anyway, but the point is, until I give that up to God, it doesn't really matter if that individual behavior is a sin. So there you go. Just kind of today's thoughts on sin and Jesus and Lent as my child is. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm taking a screenshot because this is silly. Okay. Take care. Goodbye. You are ridiculous then.